Alright guys, back again for another review. Big Tom. Dang. Today we're going to be doing this bad boy's little brother.
This one? That's confusing. That's the Taifun GT, but we're not doing that.
This is the big boy.
We're now doing the Taifun GS.
It's the little brother.
And it's a clone. It's a fake. Okay? Sorry. Yeah, this is the Taifun GS Clone, the fake one from 8 Cigar. It was kindly sent to us from Rob at Vape Geek. He liked our review of the GT that we did, so he said thanks very much for that, Superman and Hulk. Would you be happy to do a Taifun GS review for us? And of course he would. And in all honesty, I looked at one of these, the real one, before I bought the GT. I was umming and ahhing. I thought, shall I get the GS or the GT? I do kind of like the look of the GS, but I ended up buying a GT. And I've always sort of looked at the GS and thought, oh, I'd like one of them, do you know what I mean? I really like the GT, so I'd love to fucking check out the GS, but never actually got round to it. It was other things I wanted to buy, and so I bought them. So when he said, do you want to try a GS Clone fake? I thought, yeah, good, why not? I'll have a go. And he sent it over, and it's a lovely little latty. I like it. Tom don't.
It's ugly.
It's just one of them things. It's a 15mm at the bottom diameter, so obviously with your 22mm atomizers, it looks pretty ridiculous. And it's a 17mm diameter on the tank, but there's a load of different wicking combinations which I like. You know what I mean? You can use you use silica. You can even set this up like a roid. Whereas you put your cotton, your filler, inside the tank and basically have the silica feed from the filler, which is pretty cool. There's also an option to get a small little tank on this to turn it into a dripper. So it has a few different ways of styling it and a different ways of wicking it. Now, it is long. I'll give it that. It is long, but this was essentially designed maybe for an ego or something of a 15mm diameter, like your 14500s or something like that. But it's got that Taifun vape.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, just its little brother. But it is ugly.
It tastes fantastic. The vapour production is really good on it though. You know, you can't really knock it. These are available, like I said, on Vape Geek for £30.99. These are the 8 Cigar models. I haven't had a genuine Taifun GS like I explained earlier, so I can't really compare it. But after doing some research and checking out the manual for the actual Taifun GS and watching some videos of it, which are all in fucking German by the way, so you know, hopefully this is kind of the first review of a Taifun GS Clone, and also the first English review of a Taifun GS, because they're all with carbon. You know what I mean? So, Schnell and Durchfall, which is German for diarrhea. It's the only one I remember from school. Durchfall. Seemed hilarious at the time, me shouting that to my German teacher. It's Mrs. Cooper. I wonder where she is now. Probably dead. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's £30.99. I like it. It is difficult to work out what to stick it on. Because, you know, putting it on a Nemesis or something like that, it can look a little bit ridiculous because it's very long.
It's on the copper mod and it looks stupid.
It doesn't look stupid on the copper mod. It's not the copper, this is the old rusty. Ooh. Nothing looks stupid on a Soul Vapor Baby DNA. There you go, Nigel, another plug for you there.
Yeah, I want mine soon.
Yeah, it comes in your Taifun box. Pass it over to me, mate. So it comes in your Taifun box. Pretty much, it comes with some spares. You get some silica, you get some canthal, you get some O-rings, and you get a spare air tube. The airflow control is the same as the GT. You have a small little air tube inside. You can replace it. You get pretty much a 1mm or a 1.2mm or 1.5mm, or if you completely remove it, it's 1.8. I believe this has got the 1.5 in there. And it comes with a 1.2 hole for a tighter draw because it is quite loose, but I like it. I like a loose draw.
No, see, vapor wise, I do like it. It is nice, but just the look of it for me is no.
No, you don't like it?
No, it's not a chance. Not when you got that beast.
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference, you know, and obviously, I mean, the Taifun GS came out first, but it's great. It looks, I think it looks good on a Provare, in all honesty, you know, because of the bottom, the way it stems up on the Provare. But it tastes really nice. It is a very, very similar, almost identical taste to a GT. I've used silica in this, basically. I've used a long piece of silica, which goes down into the chamber and feeds from the bottom. And there's also another piece I've put on top with silica rising up, going in through to the tank, and that brings the juice down. So yeah, you can also have mesh that feeds the juice down to the silica, or like I said earlier, you can have a roid where you basically have filler go inside and some silica up feeding it to the coils. So there's basically 3 different configurations, or you know, you can even navy nest it in the bottom with silica. There's lots. So yeah, nice drip tip, which also fits on the GT.
When we get this off,
you get your big stupid banana orange thing. So yeah, they're interchangeable. That's nice. All the threads are nice. You can obviously, for the real GS, you can get a stainless steel tank, because it is, I believe, polycarbonate. Not too sure, it might be plexiglass, but I think it's polycarbonate. You can also get, like I said, if you go onto like sort of smoker store, you can pick up the little tank that turns it into a dripper. You can get that polyfiller, that fucking cotton filler for the roid version of Way to Wicket if you wanted to use it like a spheroid. But yeah, I like using silica. It's nice and easy. It's really simple to wick. I'll show you when I do a close-up. Yeah, I like the flavour.
Guess what? It's stainless steel. Yeah!
Stainless steel deck for the win. You know, I have seen that these have just recently come onto Fast Tech. There's a whole big chrome brass fucking debate going on in the discussions on Fast Tech, but it is on Fast Tech. But you know, it's here in the UK at Vape Geek. Oh, I said the name again. I must be advertising. Yeah, you can get these. I'll put the website above my head right there, so go on there. Like I said, in the New Year's special, they are getting the Aquas in the 2nd week of January. They do have mods and bits and pieces on there, clones and fakes, but H cigar, so all top quality, and there's a vendor there you can approach. But yeah, I like it.
Same, exactly. It does exactly as this bad boy, but it's just smaller. It's little brother.
What we'll do now, we'll go down to the table, I'll take it all apart, I'll show you all the bits and pieces, and I'll give it a wick for you, show the way I do it. And I'm even going to do 2. I'm going to do one with the silica and I'm going to do one with the mesh feed in it. So yeah, we'll see you in a minute. Safe? Okay, so here we have the Taifun GS as it comes to you in the box. Your typical Taifun box there, like so. There you have your Taifun GS. And a bag of spares. You get some silica, some O-rings, a spare air tube, which is the tighter draw 1.2, I believe, and the and some cantha wire. There's your Taifun GS. Nice sleek design, very long. Removable drip tip. Removable top section. Pretty much like the Taifun GT, just a bit longer. Threads are quite tight on this. I want to be careful not to cross thread them. Pull this section off, and as you can see in there you have your positive and negative posts, your deck, stainless steel, lovely, and your air tube in the middle. Okay, so for our first method today, we're going to use the silica method. I've basically taken 3 pieces of 2mm silica and left one extra long, the other 2 about 2.5 centimetres. This one more 5 or 6. Basically, these 2 pieces are going to feed upwards through your chambers and into your tank. So I've used 5 wraps of cantha wire, basically just wrap around the posts. You know how to do that now. Make sure you lift your coil up over the air hole like so. So you're not blocking the air hole. Trim it up. Check your coils once again just to be sure. There we go. All lighting up nice. Okay, brilliant. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to feed the silica through the chamber. So let's pull these up. Actually going to want to trim these down a little bit on either side. They're possibly a bit too long. Make a nice mess. Okay. Pull these upwards, and first of all, over your cover for your chamber. Like so. Push down your smaller pieces of silica so they're either side of the deck, so they're going all the way around in order to feed that juice. Now this can be a bit tricky feeding this silica. Some people wrap some mesh or some tin foil just to feed it through at first. I just basically give it a little moisture. And then we're going to feed them through like so. Okay, so if we can get them both at the same time, that would be very nice. Let's just trim a bit of that off like so. Now we're going to feed them through. One, two. Get it all the way down. There we go. Lovely. We only want a little piece really feeding up into the tank. So we should trim about there. And there, like so. Check my coils one more time just to be safe. Feeding up a treat in there. I'm going to put some juice into the tank, pretty much like the Taifun GT. You just fill it up exactly the same. Wet these a little bit actually, just to get them going. Got myself some Grants. Vanilla custard. Screw my tank on. Oh, another nice fight. Lovely. Let's move on to the mesh feed. So for this particular wick, we're going to be using stainless steel mesh to feed the juice to the coil. So what I've done is I've prepared two pieces of SS mesh, 400 mesh, about 14mm long, and I've cut the buttons at a diagonal angle, like so. Now, instead of placing the silica through this chamber like we did last time, what we're going to do is place the mesh inside the chambers like this. You'll need to cut them to fit, which isn't a big deal. You just basically have to roll the mesh a bit like a sausage. Make sure you do oxidise this mesh, excuse me. Just feed that through like so. So it's almost flush with the top. You can see the mesh is now sticking out of the bottom like so. Now I've wrapped 3 pieces of 2mm silica with 5 wraps of 0.2 canthal. So you just need to put the top on like so. Twist that down. Now you'll see that your silica is sitting in there. Just basically push the excess ends down so they sit on the bottom. Like so. I'm going to check my coils. They're all lighting like a treat. Then place either end of the coils, the mesh, either side, like so. Place your top cap. Drip tip. Fill with juice. And you'll be good to go.
So after watching Damien wicking that, I think I found my favourite mod, and that's it.
It's very Stingray, isn't it? It's very fucking Thunderbirds I'll go. Yeah, as you can see down there on the table, nice and easy to wick. Can use silica, or you can use the mesh way, or I didn't show you because I don't have any cotton filler, unfortunately. I thought I could get some by today, but I didn't. But you can ride it. There is a manual online to use for the Taifun GS. Like I said, most of the videos, pretty much all of the videos and tutorials on this are in fucking German. So unless you speak fluid German, they're useless, really. Unless you just mute it and fucking watch it. But I like it. I mean, it's Taifun. It's a great vape. It's got that Taifun vape. It's got that nice sort of sharp sort of flavour to it, which I do enjoy, which I got used to with the Taifun GT. Maybe not as easy to wick as the GT for speed wise, because a GT is just gone. You can fuck about with that and turn it upside down and mess with your coils and all that. Whereas the GS is just a little bit more fiddly. Like I said, you're pretty limited on what mods you're going to want to put this on if you're into that flush design. I mean, it looks stunning on the iTaste 134. I mean, if you went out with that, mate, it's, you know what I mean, everyone's going to be like, fuck is that? Jesus.
This is another house mod.
Yeah. People think you got some But no, it's really nice. I really like it. My wife's been using it for the last 24 hours on a Pravari, and it's cool, and she enjoys the vape from it and all that. So, I mean, it's a bargain for £30.99, seeing as the original costs you like 90 quid. But still, you know, if you're not into your clones, the original is out there. You can get the original from like White Fog and Smoker Store and stuff like that. But it is available, so if you do want it, if you do want to try it, Vape Geek do have the Taifun GS. Yeah,
it is for the girl. I might purchase one and give it as a gift to yourself.
Should do some scores.
Yeah, definitely. Vape wise, exactly the same as a GT.
Yeah,
it's going to be a 10.
It's got that really nice GT vape, you know. It's really good. Good vapor production as well. I like the airflow that comes as standard with it. That you do have an option for another air tube in your box, but I do like the one that comes in there. It's around exactly the sort of airflow that I like with mine. So I'm going to give it a 9/10. Yeah,
yeah,
I
definitely.
really like the vape on it. Look wise,
you like it?
I think it's alright. You know, I don't have many mods that will complement it. I can put that on one of my Soul Vapor Baby DNAs and I'm still content with using it. It doesn't offend me, but I am going to give it like a 6 or a 7 because of the fact that you are limited. It is a 15mm at the bottom, so
it's a nose trimmer.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially now where everyone's sort of more into their 22mm atomizers, mech mods and what have you. You are pretty limited on what you put it on, unless you've got sort of like a Leo 14500 or a Bagua or something like that, or an Ego, you know.
Yeah, it does work alright on an Ego. I tried it on an Ego.
Yeah, we tried it on an iTaste VV. I didn't have the plinth, unfortunately, so it still looked pretty fucked up. But if you had the plinth, which you can get from White Fog, they do have them in stock at the moment. I think they're about 6 quid for a plinth, which is pretty expensive. But you know, if you do have that sort of the iTaste V3 or something like that, the VV, then this will suit it perfect. And you've got variable voltage as well. I
like the build because obviously you can do so many different configurations, like the mesh and doing different sort of builds on it. That's a plus point for me as well, because obviously you can only do it one way with the GT. So
yeah, I mean, you have got a few configurations, and it's cool that you can ride it as well. You know what I mean? So that's pretty good. And yeah, the way it's built, and as a fake, it's really well built. The threads are really nice. Even the posts are fucking nice and straight, and they don't wobble, a little bit like the GT clone ones were doing. So the build on this is really good. Stainless steel deck, can't complain.
No.
So yeah, I'm going to give it a fucking 9 out of 10 for the build. It's really cool. You can get a stainless steel tank for it, not from Vape Geek, obviously not with this fake, but you can get them from like White Fog or Smoker Store if you want to, if you're going to use those sort of juices that you're a bit not too sure about. And you can also get the small tank section to turn this into a dripper. I'm not going to bother with that because I'm not into drippers, I'm into my tanks, but there is that option there for you. So yeah, £30.99 available from Vape Geek. The website is above my head right there for a bit of shameless promotion. So go on there. If you do want one of these, if you have got a 14500 mod or an Ego or a VV or something like that, and you do fancy something that's going to fit flush on one of them, and also a rebuildable, also uses silica, also has a Roid option, then this is bang on. It's really nice. The vape is fantastic. You can get these off Fast Tech. It'll take you a couple of years to get one, and when you do get it, you don't know what it's going to be fucking like. It might be made out of paper. So get one off a Vape Geek, mate. It's a lot safer when you have a vendor there you can contact. So yeah, the Taifun GS Clone, 8 cigar version, really nice, really well built, great flavour, great vapour, a quality little fake. So yeah,
thumbs up for me.
Definitely. Hope you've enjoyed this review, and we will see you on the next one. Stay safe.